Right, 60 minutes to 6, and this week the fortunes of the clothing chain Peacocks haven't been far from the headlines. Almost half the workforce at the head office in Cardiff have lost their jobs. The company went into administration on Wednesday after failing to restructure £240 million worth of debts. The administrators, KPMG, have confirmed they will continue to run Peacock's 563 stores, which employ more than 9,000 people in the UK, as they seek a buyer for the business. However, vouchers for the stores are no longer being accepted to pay for goods. Well, Nigel Rothband is the Chief Executive of RetailTrust. That's a charity which represents 3 million people working in the retail industry. Good evening and welcome to the programme.
Hi, good evening, Sean.
There is obviously a great deal of concern for Peacock's workers at the moment. How are you able to help them?
Well, as you say, I mean, we are the only charity that looks after the needs of all 3 million people working in retail. And the main way we can help is through the RetailTrust helpline. And I guess we act as a safety net to all those people, providing them with services and support to help them to deal with life struggles. And obviously, the issues at Peacocks in particular, those who have been either made redundant or potentially facing redundancy, we have a number of products and services that we can support them with.
I suppose to a degree that the news is still sinking in for many of those workers. I mean, have you had many calls to that helpline yet?
We have. We count our calls in tens of thousands, but over the last few days, obviously, a number of calls from Peacock staff in particular. And, you know, the sort of things they've been saying, they're shocked, they're devastated, they're kind of struggling to cope. And in some cases, people kind of already in debt and don't really know how they can pay their bills and where to turn. And I would say to everybody listening, if you either work for Peacocks, know anybody who does, I really would encourage them to give our helpline a call, because we're here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to give whatever support we can.
And what sort of support would that be? Is it obviously advice, but is it financial support as well?
Yes, it's right across the piece, Shard. Yes, I mean, the first thing I mentioned, rework, and that is we've got online on our website a downloadable guide to resolving redundancy, we call it, and that really gives a lot of very practical advice to people who are in that situation. Moving on from that, if people do ring the helpline, our advisors are there, that we listen initially, and everybody's circumstances are different, of course, and we may well signpost people to other agencies. But again, it could well be that people need counselling, and we offer up to 6 free counselling sessions with a qualified counsellor, and that's done either face-to-face or over the phone. And as you say, increasingly we are getting calls about debt in particular, and we do have a debt advice service as well, which again is free, and we can give people sort of debt management solutions to help them with their money problems. As I say, a number of different solutions for people depending on their own personal circumstances.
Regrettably, it may be that the number of calls that you get is going to increase, because it does seem to be becoming a trend now in the retail sector. Other companies also in trouble.
Absolutely. You know, we've heard of a number of organisations in the last few weeks since Christmas. We've got Barrett's, we've got Past Times, together with Peacocks, and it is a very worrying time, and that's really why RetailTrust exists. You know, we were set up 180 years ago, and for 180 years we've been here for all those employees within the industry. So, as I say, if anybody is in that situation, anybody concerned, then I would encourage them to pick up the phone. There's 4 ways of getting in touch. We've got our helpline. Can I give that number, Sean? Would you mind? Because I think it would be helpful for people to know.
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's 0808 801 0808. We have our helpline, and we've got sort of helpline online as well at retailtrust.org.uk, and people can text and email as well. So there's 4 different ways people can get in touch with us to access that free independent and confidential advice.
Nigel Rothband, Chief Executive of RetailTrust, thank you very much for that.